Ball first and 10 at the 12-yard line of the Seahawks. Sean goes right, has a cutback lane, and he does. He's across the 20, the 25, 30, 35, 40. Here he goes. Are they going to catch him? 40, 35, 30. Touchdown, Seahawks! 12, they're bringing the trophy home. Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champions. Holy catfish! Baldwin's going to throw back to Russell. He's got it! Touchdown! Seahawks! Are you kidding me?
Let's Hawk It Out with your hosts Kevin Porter and Rich Harris.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Let's Hawk It Out. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Porter, but also, most importantly, joined by my co-host with the most, Rich Harris. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing really good, Kevin. Really good, especially coming off of that really great win that we had, on Sunday.
I know, might as well just jump right into it, dude. We are coming off quite the win, like you said, dude. 27-13. Your Seattle Seahawks defeated the New York Giants, man. It felt like that game was going to be a nail biter all the way to the very end. But then there in the fourth quarter, the Seahawks just kind of broke away with it. And it was game over by the end of the fourth.
Yeah, and I mean, the previously 6-1 Giants, I guess the rest of the nation or the rest of the NFL world was wondering whether or not the Seahawks could handle somebody that was such a good win-loss record and if we were actually for real. And I think we proved that we are. I mean, Coach Carroll, in one of his interviews, called that a complete win. And we both know what that means is they were firing on all cylinders. Your special teams, your defense, your offense, they all executed the way they were supposed to. Everything went pretty well. And, that team didn't look all that great, but I think we just held them back to where they didn't look as good as they looked against those other teams, maybe.
It's a great question. I mean, obviously the New York Giants, like you said, dude, coming into Lumen Field this past Sunday, they were standing with a great record of 6-1. Unfortunately for them, the Philadelphia Eagles have yet to be defeated. So they came in their second place respectively within their own division. And obviously the Seahawks with at the time a 4-3 record. As of last week, we took first place in the NFC West. So yeah, this was what they had said is like this was the only matchup this past weekend where it was two teams with both having winning records going head to head. And like you said, I don't think a lot of people really gave the Seattle Seahawks a lot of much of a chance really going into this game here. But, again, it was very competitive through the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. And by going into the fourth quarter, again, the Seahawks just, again, proved that, I don't know. I mean, maybe, again, it's, we're now riding are we on a 3-game or a 4-game winning streak?
3-game winning streak. Yeah, so, Cardinals, Chargers, and now the Giants. And, anytime you can stay ahead by one touchdown and then come in there in the fourth quarter, as you're speaking of, and kind of put that nail in the coffin with a second touchdown, a full 2-score lead, that usually helps to, put that nail in the coffin, so to speak. And it felt really well when that second touchdown came and we had that 14-point lead. I kind of, relaxed a little bit there. And I thought, this is looking more like the win that I think or that I was hoping for. So that was great.
Yeah, it was great, dude. I mean, yeah, you had, just kind of going into the game, I guess, itself there. I mean, the first touchdown we obviously saw, that was DK Metcalf getting that pretty easy touchdown there in the end zone. But then Tyler Lockett, unfortunately, he had a pretty big mishap there when he unfortunately dropped the ball when he would have had a guaranteed touchdown if he would have had it. So, 9 times out of 10, he's making that catch, but he definitely had redemption that next, I believe it was the next series actually, and where he ended up getting the touchdown. And then, like you said, the hammer to the nail there, our boy Ken Walker rolling in there for the touchdown, which again, it didn't look like necessarily he was going to get it. He thought he was going down, but then boom, that resilience kicked in, dude, and he was able to finish the drive, dude. And again, nail that coffin.
Yep, that's
straight 16 into the ground, dude.
Perseverance is what that is, and resilience, perseverance, both excellent ways to describe the way that K9 ran that ball and the way that his determination was to get into the end zone. And you're sitting there going, oh my God, and then all of a sudden he scored. It was like he's taking a hit, he's getting hit, and he's still going, bouncing off guys, still doing that little bit of a lateral movement that we like about him. And that was really fun to witness. That was really neat to see them kind of put that nail in the coffin like we're talking about. And, there was a lot of just things along the way that we did well. As you said, we're the top of the NFC West now, and 49ers are looking like they're 4-4, Rams are 3-4, and the Cards are 3-5. So if we can continue this little streak we got going here and keep getting some wins and maybe pull a difference away from them and let them lose a few more, we can get a cushion and actually have a little comfortable lead in the NFC West, which would be great. I'd like to get into the playoffs as we always usually do, and not a little wild card. I mean, I'll take that, but we're known for getting, in the Pete Carroll era at least, we're known for getting in the playoffs by winning the NFC West a lot. So
exactly,
like
dude.
Keep that tradition alive.
Definitely keep the home field advantage, at least for the first wild card weekend there. If we can get up if we can keep it going, dude, and some other teams just fall off the map there. We hopefully have a chance of getting that second. I don't know. The Eagles are doing pretty well this year, so again, time will tell. We're halfway through the season, but I feel that again, if we continue the trend that we're going on right now, playing complete games like you mentioned earlier, Coach Carroll said, a complete game is what we saw on Sunday, and if we can keep doing that, the sky's the limit, kind of at this point here. But I'd like to just kind of jump into some stuff I saw in today. It's like, we talk about the Seahawks, definitely this being like a statement win for the season, right? Like this was the statement win. Each week it feels like we keep saying that, but again, each week we keep getting, impressed by, what we're seeing on the field there. But I was watching ESPN today and I saw that for the majority of the time there, it was they were not talking about the Seahawks until the very end. They spent the last 3 minutes of the broadcast kind of breaking down the NFC West. And they actually had the San Francisco 49ers with a 75% chance of actually taking the NFC West this season, Rich. And I felt a little disrespected when I saw that, Rich. It got my blood boiling.
Oh, nothing's changed. That's just how they always are and how they'll always be.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. The media, most of the media, the mainstream media, or what they call the mainstream media, they're always discounting the Seahawks for whatever reason. And they did that many a times before. They did that. And just wait, they're going to be, all up in those compliments as we go and as we progress and do better and succeed, because you know what, they won't have any choice but to get on that bandwagon. It's either they're going to be naysaying because they think that's the thing to do on what's looking from the outside in like a lowly team, and then when we come through and start winning ball games and start becoming a discussion point and a conversation piece, then they're going to have to get on that bandwagon, or show's going to suck, and it's going to be shitty. So so it's just funny to see that happen when they're just so on one side of it, and then watch will do good, and then those same people will be like complimenting the Seahawks that, oh my God, they're doing so great, and this and that, so the contrast there is just I don't know.
ESPN is completely ridiculous. You see some people out there, that are giving like Pete Carroll his props, like shout out Rich Eisen. He had some very nice things to say about Pete Carroll, basically being like, hey man, told you so. That's Pete Carroll. That's what he's been able to say back to them. Which I don't know if you were able to watch Pete Carroll's Sunday press conference after the game. He even mentioned it. He's like, all the stuff you guys were saying, it's a bunch of crap. Just a bunch of crap. It was like, oh shit, Pete Carroll just said crap. What? He busted out the naughty word for that that statement right there.
Yeah, on camera at least, huh? Yeah, he's having a good time. Coach is just look at him in his interviews. He's having a good time. I mean, he's always usually upbeat and stuff, but sometimes not so much. And he's been pretty upbeat the whole season. And that just goes to show a lot about his confidence in the team and where he thinks the team is and how excited he is about the young team. And, to answer that question too, if we can keep doing better, I don't see why we cannot. because these guys are just really getting that, like we said, that chemistry, and they're young, they're building together. It's not like anything's going to change right here in the immediate future. So I think they're just going to continue to progress and get better, because they're going to continue to learn and feed off each other. And pretty soon, when they start reading each other's minds out there on the field, so to speak, that's when teams become, vicious and deadly and hard to stop. Exactly.
I'm really excited going into the next second half. Like, cause this was week 8. So we have 6 goes to week 17.
Yeah, right? 17 now. Mm-hmm. So okay, we're kind of halfway is what they're saying, right? Because it's an odd number that we end on. So exactly,
but we're just about halfway through. So, I don't know, man. I eat with each game, dude. I don't know. It feels like, and I hate to like harp back to, back in the day, Rich, but I really feel like that excitement that I had back when, the Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson first came on the scene here in Seattle. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see what Gino does, dude. Like, Gino has me pumped, dude. Like, both of us were able to be in attendance at this last week's game against the Giants, and I just like being able to witness that crowd as they're like, Gino, 2,000 people chanting Gino. It's like, whoa, this guy's, and it's like Pete Carroll was saying during his press conference, he's the real deal, dude. Like, they knew it this whole time. And it's just, it's so awesome to watch somebody from the situations that he's been in, throughout his whole entire career, and, having to be a starter, a high draft pick, going to it for, then being a backup for so long, and now getting his second chance in the NFL, and he's taking advantage of it and taking advantage of every single opportunity. And he shows he's learned, and he's a smart dude. I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of Geno Smith. That's all I'm trying to say, Rich.
Yeah, and with that chant you're hearing right there, it just all his fans are, supporting him and lifting him up as much as we can, because we're very appreciative of the fact that he came through and is coming through for us. And it's just like, you can't help but bring him up even more when he has those moments. It's like, it was one of those things where people didn't expect so much, and now look at him go. So you might as well lift, especially if you're behind him and you're the fans and you want to see him succeed. It's just like, I love those moments too when that happened. I mean, look at him. He's like first in completion percentage, I believe, from anybody that's actually, a starter or whatnot. It's 72.7%. And then third in passer rating, or, quarterback rating altogether. And,
he's at the top of the league right now, dude.
Yeah, he's up there, and he's in the top 5 in a lot of categories, which is great. So let him go. Let's see what else he can do. And somebody on a radio show I listened to a lot said, what would he be mentioned for MVP? And other people are saying, why not? Are we going to just keep thinking of the way that we thought about Geno in the preseason when we didn't know much? Or are we going to start just waking up and watching what he's doing and be, what I always talk about, the reality of things and what's really happening right now in the NFL, because this is everything that matters, and he's showing and proving when it matters.
Exactly, dude. He's showing up and improving and showing it where it matters. And like, the one thing I was thinking of was like, Russell Wilson, like, when was the last time, or whenever did the crowd ever chant Russell? Like, I don't think it was going down like that. I don't think it was.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I've been to a lot of games, not as many as I've been going to as of recently, but yeah, I don't remember being there necessarily. I mean, I'm not going to say that it never happened, but I don't remember it right off the top of my head. No. And it's been going on about almost every home game I've been to this year, especially, and it's not just out of the blue. It's when Geno does something great, something that's really put a significant mark on the game. And then it's just like, it just starts coming out. So, but yeah, speaking of being at the stadium as well, I wanted to add something before I forget. The wife and I were at Touchdown City, which where we like to go, and we had you meet us down there, so I could kind of show you that gig down there. It's a great gig.
It's pretty cool to be able to see each other in person, because
we
don't see each other in person a lot. Literally, like, we're just always on Zoom calls. So
I know, isn't that something? So then, as she was looking for her little face painting, we actually went and found it. We got that done, and then we got the little picture thing done where you can stand there and you pick the players that you want, and you just stand there, and then they come in on the screen and they just walk up next to you, so to speak, on the virtual screen. And you got to pose real quick, because it's going to flash, and then you just go up there and type in your phone number and it sends it to you. Real simple, real easy to do.
It doesn't charge you anything,
free.
Right?
It's all free. Everything down there that you do is free. So anyway, we moved on. We were over there watching like the stage. I forget what was going on the stage at the moment. And my wife was looking at her picture, and some lady next to her goes, "Oh, that's a nice picture. That turned out good." Me and her, and she goes, "Well, I can't wait for my baby to get on there. He's not on there right now." And then we were just talking, and I says, when she got done talking, I says, "Well, who is your boy? Who is your baby?" And she goes, "Oh, Tyreek Smith." And I was like, "Oh man," I was like, one of our rookies, and right there next to her was his grandma. And you could tell that it was two generations, and they were all Seahawked out. It was pretty cool. And it wasn't like somebody had a reason to make up a story like that. So I just started talking to her. I said, "Yeah, man," I said, "that's awesome. He's still in the building, isn't he?" I said, "He's on the IR, but he's in the building." They were like, "That's right, he is. It's unfortunate, but he's got a good head on his shoulders." Anyway, we talked to them for a minute. My wife was like, "Oh my God, did we just talk to like one of our players' moms and grandma?" I was like, "We sure did."
Sure did, Rick.
We sure did. And yeah, we seen them again a couple of times as they were looping around. They said hi to us. They were like, "Oh my God, we're just taking a stroll." I said, "This is the best place to spend the time before the game." And I actually referred to you. I said, "My buddy's up there with his group, and they're just waiting in line to get into the stadium. So you might as well hang out around here and not be in line."
Yeah, dude, totally. The next time, if I'm ever afforded the chance to go back to Lumen Field, dude, Touchdown City is definitely where it's at. Because you go outside, it's kind of weird with the Seahawks and the way Lumen Field is like laid out. Because you see other stadiums where people are able to have tailgate parties and whatnot. People have the barbecues out, do all that experience. It's not really set up around there for that type of experience. There's not a large parking area, but outside of that, I guess what is that the north area, the northwest parking? There's a parking lot out there, but no one was really doing anything out there.
Yeah, because it's just the parking is set up mostly garages and mostly private lots. So you will see it in some of the private lots, but I think it's just not really authorized in any of the Seahawk lots, just for good reason, I guess, because it's so dense down there in the city and downtown. Some of the other areas have the big sprawling parking lots around the facility because they're off in an industrial area where they built it, whereas we're still in the downtown. I think that's most of it, but you'll find there's a lot of alleys and private parking lot and business parking lots that have they can do what they want with their parking lot.
I saw those. Yeah, they had a lot of the food vendors outside and whatnot.
Yeah, you got to go a few blocks away in each direction, mostly south and southeast, southwest a little, before the tracks there. But yeah, you got to go south a little for the most part. And there's a few of them that are right there west of the stadium, kind of across from Touchdown City. There's a big tailgating area, but that's kind of a private one. It's not like it's a wide open free for all. Yeah, you've almost got to know somebody, and they got to say, "Hey, meet me here. We'll be here," and then you're there. It's not like
somebody to vouch for you.
Not really, just to tell you where to go, just to tell you where they're going to be at. Hey, we're going to be over here by Grocery Outlet, or hey, we're going to be over here by, whatever the bar name or whatever it is. So, yeah.
It's just like being in that stadium, man. I mean, the whole entire experience. We showed up really early. We showed up. We pretty much got to the stadium probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. I think around we were there a little bit before you. Then the party I was with, it was we kind of just were, just hanging out in a central area and stuff, So I kind of felt a little bit overwhelmed because I was the only person dressed in Seahawk gear in the group that I was with, and I was like, hey, okay, cool. I'm gonna root on the Seahawks today. So, but it was overall just a great experience, man, to being able to roll into that stadium for the from the view that I had, because we were right off. We were literally right there because and dude, it was really weird how I got that ticket, dude, because my wife's just like, hey, so I got this message from somebody within our local church, and they were like, hey, got a free ticket. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. That, dude, I don't know, that's never happened in my life. Somebody just being bam, here you go. And then when we got there, and the seats were just right there, dude, right on the field level. I just we saw the Giants coming out of the tunnel and whatnot, and dude, that experience is so fucking cool, dude. Going to a Seahawks game, no matter where you are in that building, dude, just being in that building is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's there's not a bad seat in that whole place, to be honest with you. You'll have a great time if you go and sit anywhere, and we've always felt that way anywhere we've sat. But yeah, with that free ticket thing, yeah, just like Smokey from Friday said, take advantage, man.
Take
Take
Man. Hell yeah, Rich. All right, man.
That's right.
I guess we'll go ahead and close up shop here. Any final words before we head out into the sunset?
Not really, except for go Hawks.
Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next week as we take on the Arizona Cardinals on the road. For Rich Harris, I'm Kevin Porter. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
All right.
I gotta ask you a question. Can you win a game in the first quarter?